Hello and welcome to the second part of this tutorial, and in this second part I'm going to be showing you how to use the generic class-based views. So we'll be starting off on a fresh application. So I'll be creating this application from scratch using generic class-based views, and it's going to contain all the whole functionality. So generic class-based views are inbuilt class-based views in the Django framework that helps with common view tasks like listing stuff, showing a detailed page, your create, your update and delete pages, and some other stuff which I'll be showing you. So to use this, we're gonna import them from Django views generic. So the first one I'll be using is called the import the list view. So as the name suggests, is it's going to be showing the list of all the whole posts in our blog. So to use this, we'll be creating a class view that extends the list view, and we'll call this class home, which extends the list view. And to make use of this, we'll just pass in a model field of post. But to use this, I'll have to import this model. From models, I'll import the post model. So now, this is the home view and it extends the list view. So we pass in the model, which is post. So the next thing we'll have to do would be to go to the home template and make use of the for loop. So for posts in post lists, I'll tell you why this is called the post list. Then we do this. So if I could remember, let's go to our model.py and check the fields we need to use. So title, content, pub date, view count. Okay, so we'll have to replace all this. So this is the post.title. Post.author. I should have copied this from the previous video. Post.category and post.pub dates, post.view count, and I think the final one should be post.content. Post.content. Then we use this filter truncate words and we give it 30, so it should just be 30 words. So and if it's empty, what should we do? We'll create the text to show that there are no posts. There are no posts yet. So the next thing we'll have to do would be to create the URL for this view. So let's remove this. We'll then say from blog import views. So we'll create a URL for the home view. It's gonna be, no, it should be empty. Then we'll say views.home. Remember the method as view. Then we give it a name. So we could easily call it from our template. So we give it a name of home. So let's go to our browser. Remember, this is a fresh application to see if this works. So refresh. Template does not exist, post list. So you can see this template does not exist, post list. So the generic class-based view called the list view requires a template called post_list, and this post_list is this post is the model name, and it's appends the _list to it. So the list view requires a template called post_list, but if I change the home.html to post_list, this page should render correctly. But there is a field given to us by this generic view, this list view, called the template name. So we could override this post_list and pass it the template name we want. So we'll say blog/home.html. Then we go back to our browser to refresh, and you can see, voila, it works. So currently there are no posts, and if we cross-check that, we could check that from the admin view. Posts, 0 posts. So we could see this works. So since we've not created the other view, let me just quickly add one post to show you that this actually works. So new posts, content, I could just Lauren just some random author, should be your admin, it should be in fashion. The view count is you can't edit it. I set that from my admin.py, which I'll show you if it's required. Then we click save. So when we come over here and we refresh, you can see, voila, there is this new post right here. So yeah, I think everything is working so far. So if you have more posts, they will be listed out. Let's go add one more post, just one more. Oh, second post, created by admin in entertainment. So click save, and voila, the second post is here. So let me check, let me confirm something. Oh yeah, I made a mistake. If you noticed here, the view count is not displaying, so I'm supposed to VCOUNT, yeah, so 0 by default. So you can see the list view, and if we go to we could hold down Control and click on Visual Studio Code to go to this class. So the list view extends the multiple object template response mixin, which handles the redirection to the home.html. So I'm going to be talking about mixing as we go on. So, and it extends also the base list view. So the use of this mixing is just to support multiple inheritance, which I'm going to explain as we go on. So this list view extends this and the base list view. So let's click on the base list view. But you see, the base list view extends the view which we've done in the first part of this tutorial, and also the multiple object mixing. And this multiple object mixing is the main stuff that actually controls the list view. So you can see a mixing from views manipulating multiple objects, and that was where we got the, let me see, okay, yeah. So that is where you get some of all these fields. So you can see allows pagination, context object name, paginator class. So for instance, now in this our template, we did post underscore list. That is the default. By default, it requires you to have a model name and appended with the list. So if you want to override this behavior of our context, we could go to this. You could see context object name. We could actually change it here. So we could say context object name, and we could give it something else like posts if you don't want to use post list. So I would have to come here and change this to post. Then if I go to the browser and reload, you see it still works. So there's so many behaviors you could actually that is inherited by default in this stuff. So we could also edit this ordering. You see, this is where we get the whole fields from that I'm currently working on. So we could edit this ordering. Let's see, ORD ordering to descending of the dates. That means the latest post should be shown first. So if I go, second post should come up right now. See, so second post comes up. So if you have time, you play around with this stuff to see how they work. And we also have the paginate by, that's for pagination. So let's try that and see how it works. Paginate by, we just have two contents here, so we just say paginate by 1. Let's see. Wow, and that worked. So paginate by 1, and we already have this pagination. So when we click next, it shows us the second page, and you can see up here page equals to 2. If I click previous, page equals to 1. And while this works currently is because of this blog underscore pagination list which I added. So let's go to the pagination links. And if you notice, this is like the basic pagination in your function-based view. The only thing to note here is this page obj, which is the page object, and this is gotten from the list view class. So the list view class provides us with a page object by default if we extend it. That is why this template I provided could actually work with the previous and the next buttons. So I think that will be that for now. So if you have time, you could always play around with the list view class and the multiple objects. We'll go to base list, multiple object mixing. So this is the class that, and we're going to be talking about how to override some of all these methods in future videos, but that is just the basics of the list view. So I think the next thing we should be doing now would be to create a detailed view, because currently we don't have a detailed view for this, and home doesn't work. Okay, so wow, that was a mistake. So to create a detailed view, let's see, as the name suggests, we would extend detailed view. Detail view is also a generic class that helps with showing a detail of an object. So we'll create a new class called, let's see what, post detail, which extends the detail view. And we'll pass in the model, which is also posts. We'll pass in the model, which is also post. So let's see. We have posts. Let's create a URL for it. Post detail as view, then say post detail, and it should have this Okay, so this post detail view is going to be, you'll need a keyword argument of PK, which is a primary key, so you'll be able to identify an individual post. So let's see what next. To go to the templates, we'll first go to the home.html, so we could be able to put that URL. URL posts underscore detail, and you know where I got this from? I got it from, let me close this. I got it from the url.py post underscore detail, and you need the PK, primary key, keyword argument. So I'll pass the primary key, which belongs to this object. So post PK. So the next thing we'll have to do would be to go update the view. The template, the template here. So post dot title. I could copy this. Yeah, so for this we'll remove the link because it's in a detail page. We don't need that link. It's not a link in the detail page, it's only a link in the home page. So let's see, we set, so in the views we pass in the model of posts, then in the post detail we pass in the context items, the object, then the urls.py, we create a URL post / the primary key. So let's see if this works. I go to my whichever one, I click on this, yeah, post underscore 10. Voila, it works. Oh, but there's just one thing. So you can see over here posts, then the PK, which is 10. So one thing we should remove from this detail view would be the truncate words. So we just go back and go to the post detail view and we remove this filter. So this is the detail view. We'll be needing all the items. So we'll refresh. Let's see. Yeah, voila, it's the complete one. So what next? Next, first of all, let me update this home link over here. So where is that? base.html. Yeah. Okay, so if I click home, it should work. So this is home. Yeah, everything is working fine. But there's something I want to show you right now. We can see over here we currently have 0 views. If I click on the second post and go back home, the views count doesn't update. So to actually do that in the generic class-based views, we'll come over here, and the detail view has a method called the get object. And this method is let me show you what I mean. Base detail view, single object mixing. So yeah, so for the list view, main mixing is for rendering it is the multiple object mixing. That's for the list view. But for the detail view, we have the single object mixing, which takes in the primary key in order to render that view. That is why we could just come to this URL and pass in the PK, and the detail view already knows what to do with it. So yeah, it has a method called the get object, and this method returns the object the view is displaying. So if we could override this method, let's see,